I thought it'd be appropriate to just to kind of put a line underneath what's kind of been the theme of the month that I thought we should round off with double Chubb.
Are you promoting Chubb or something? He's got Chubb on the mind, that's for sure.
Karate Chubb.
Karate Chubb.
They are reasonable.
Where can you get them, Max?
I've no idea. Obviously, we don't go anywhere. We're stuck here. They just seem to be provided for us. I'm guessing that our mysterious overlords have obviously got some kind of deal with the makers of Chubby. We are back once again. Did you miss us?
Did you?
We missed you. I'm not going to make any Chubb jokes.
No. No, you really shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
Welcome back to Maybe Movies. My name is Max.
I am Sam. I'm Chris.
And we are here for our final show of the month, where we will be tackling Act 3 of The Great White Hunted, as the Predator tries to decimate the garrison at Rorke's Drift. Just before we do, as we always do, just doing a very quick shout out for great friends, online friends and fellow creators on the YouTube platform.
Cool.
And this one is for another recent subscriber and supporter. It is for Prettie Pessimistik.
Okay.
Who has a wonderful channel. She does a lot of stuff, a lot of reports and stuff on like true crime things.
Okay.
All right.
Crime.
Yeah. Nice. It's worth checking out. She's really good. And also other bizarre related stuff. I think the first one of hers I saw was 117 Terrible Ways to Die.
Of course. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah. We've killed a reasonable amount of the garrison.
I'd say at least 3 dozen.
At least. And we lost, as we said, quite a few more in the hospital with the fire.
Yeah.
And we ended Act 3 with them going into the night, hoping that they've managed to trap the Predator in the burning wreckage.
I'm going to suggest that probably the night passes relatively uneventfully, that the Predator does what it does in the original film. It probably goes into the camp to get the bodies that it wishes to claim as trophies. It's probably what it does during the night. So, that how many times did it come in the night is how many bodies did it take in the night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they had that conversation at dawn, don't they? Is how many times do you think they've come?
I think maybe we should switch one of the lines on its head when they say they're braver men than us. We're braver men than it. We don't hide behind
a mask.
Yeah, a mask or camouflage.
At this point, I'd like us to pause to consider a couple of things I think we really need to consider now before we move on. One is, at some point, we need to deal with the Predator's camouflage, because otherwise it's always going to be at a ridiculous advantage. And secondly, we need to consider who or whom is going to fight it at the end. I haven't got any clever ideas as to how we can deal with its camouflage, but regarding the end fight, I thought it might be quite nice that instead of one individual person fighting the Predator to the end, that it's a group of the soldiers, that it's the army that stops the Predator. That's just a thought on my part.
Just so you're talking there, I had an idea that would serve part of that purpose, and also touch on something that we talked about, I think, in the first act of this. And it's also quite nice because it does echo something from Predator as well. You have somebody who tries to draw it out, acts as bait,
right,
to get it where they need it to be, so that they can release the stampede.
Oh, right. Okay. Is this the bit when we have the singing then? I didn't want to lose the singing. I really didn't want to lose the singing.
Yeah, absolutely.
What, the singing?
Yeah,
you know, when they sing the Welshman never yield.
They sing Men of Harlech.
Men of Harlech.
That's the name of the song. Yeah. Thank you very much.
But that's the perfect way to draw it out.
Yeah.
Perfect, yeah.
He does get the start.
Yeah.
I earned that. I have to admit, it did cross my mind before, because I was thinking, I don't want to lose that song. How do we get the song into the movie?
Yeah.
No, that needs to be there, yeah.
So what we need then in that morning, in that sort of dawn scene, where you have that conversation between Chard and Bromhead, Probably Bromhead is starting to lose his nerve a bit.
Yes.
You know, they're running out of men. We don't know what to do, but they happen to be having that right next to the corral.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then they think, oh, hang on a minute, yeah, we may be running out of men, but we're not out of bodies.
You can even have a moment where somebody absentmindedly doesn't shut the gate, and there's like, shut that gate! Mm-hmm. Oh, hang on a moment.
Shut that gate and keep it shut!
Like it. And just the idea comes together, yeah. We're going to go with what we said then last time, that on the morning as well, that the Zulus turn up?
I think at some point during this they have to turn up, yeah.
That could prevent the Predator from doing something, like it notices another troops are coming in, which is the Zulus. But what I was just going to say was, Bromhead, he says that they're taunting us at one point when they're singing the song.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Too much.
The Chubb went down the wrong hole.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Oh dear, you don't want Chubb in the wrong hole now, do you?
Can we have an action replay of that? You spilled Chubb all over your ankle as well.
Has anyone got a tissue?
Chubb juice.
Oh. Pass.
Moving on.
Indeed. Swiftly.
You know, he says that they're taunting us. Do you think that should be mentioned in there? But again, to change it to it's taunting us at some point in that.
It might be imitating them. It might be doing its thing when it copies them, and that would be them saying, oh, it's taunting us.
It's taunting us, yeah.
I mean, the only other thing that I could think of is you keep saying it's Targeter, kind of appearing on different people.
Yeah.
It's taunting us.
Oh, no, I like that better.
Cool.
It's saying it could take us at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's taunting us, yeah.
But I like that. We've got a plan of action. Because I don't know whether, I mean, obviously having the Zulus appear, they can appear on the hill, but they take no action.
Because something is clearly happening.
Yes.
You know, clearly signs of devastation. There'll be bodies all over the place.
Yeah.
It's the stampede that's going to damage his camouflage equipment.
It may as well be.
Which could easily, you know, bull headbutting your arm is going to smash your equipment, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So the ruse works.
Yes.
To some degree. Mm-hmm. And they're able to hit it with the stampede. Do you think it's going to run away immediately, or do you think it would press its attack?
It depends on how we want to do it. I mean, if we want to bring it up to a big finale, it would probably try and press its attack. I mean, I don't know whether we want to put the stampede in there as our foil for Dutch dropping the log on it, which finishes it off for good.
I feel that would be a very cheaty ending. It would take away a lot of the catharsis.
And also it means that we lose the final redoubt as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's kind of where I'm leading to, because that's where it comes down to it, doesn't it? You know. So its equipment is damaged. It retreats briefly. It gets
a bit trampled, as you say. The equipment is damaged. Probably whacks its claws into one of the bulls and gets dragged
away.
Yeah, and climbs on top of it, and to get away with the herd.
So it's been hurt again. It has to fix itself. Mm-hmm. So we get the Gucci stuff and it screaming and everything like that.
Yeah,
and that gives the soldiers that chance to prepare the final redoubt.
Yes. Yeah. Happy with that?
No, I'm happy with that.
Oh, fantastic!
And it's forced to face over an open field.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about some of the things, and it's just so that we can make this last a little bit longer, because obviously there's still at least 50 or 60 men capable of wielding their weapons. That's a lot of fire going in one direction. Some of the Predators do have a shield that they can have. So although it might get hit, it might be able to defend its vital organs until it gets closer to the actual redoubt.
Yeah,
so it'd be wounded, but it wouldn't be mortally wounded.
Yeah.
And then we get the final fight. Volley after volley after volley, until, I suppose, it just charges the final distance and forces them into a physical confrontation rather than a ranged confrontation.
Yeah.
I'd like the idea of not just one individual person fighting the Predator, but like, you know, a squad of men.
I like the squad of men.
Squad of men fighting him, you know, as a group, as a coordinated effort, rather than having a particular hero.
It makes
fight
sense.
Them on stage. Yeah. It's the army fighting them.
The Zulu is about the troops anyway. It's not about that one person.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Obviously, now we have to consider, because they've already been drawn in once because with the stampede. But I suppose this time he'll be a bit cocksure because he knows that the Predator knows that they don't have that anymore. The herd's gone.
They've fired their shot on that one.
Yes, they've shot their bolt on that one.
Yeah.
But yes, so we have a squad of men go up the front.
Yeah.
We're just going to move on. We're just going to move on, keep ploughing.
Yep, just keep ploughing through. We can do this. We're grown people.
Yes.
So a big final confrontation with that final squad of men, who just through coordination, through coordination, are able to bring him down.
Bring him in there, and then they fall back, and then you get the redoubt as it charges.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying?
You have the volley fire as it's coming in.
I'm with you. Yeah.
And then as it closes with them, it forces them into physical combat.
Ooh,
Is it nice, is it?
pineapple.
Bit of a zing.
First time.
Are you sure you don't want to try some? It's very nice.
I don't want to try your
You're the
chubby.
poster boy for Chubb.
God.
Basically, this is effectively where the Predator goes down.
Yes.
Is he going to...
I think that's...
Yeah. Now, this is the thing. Our soldiers haven't got a fucking clue what that thing is.
I think they should be in the explosion.
Do you think we lose? Do you think we lose the whole lot?
We lose the main character so that nobody wins.
Do we think then, first of all, then when that happens, the Zulus watching leave?
I was going to say, like, whoever survives the explosion gets the salute from the Zulus. That would be my ending.
Do you think there should be one soldier left, or a couple? Few?
Or just like 2 or 3, maybe.
2 or 3.
Would somebody from 1879 recognise a countdown?
Not in a digital sense.
No.
Yeah, do they just won't know the invention of that?
Yeah, in the same way the Dutch doesn't really, they don't know the language.
No,
or
so
like
the question is any of them clever enough to work out that this is a countdown? Because they'd be used to a clock countdown.
Or let alone knowing that it's a countdown that leads to an explosion.
I think we will get some people go away because it starts discharging electricity before the bomb goes off, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, it does. So that would make them scatter a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But probably not far enough for most of them.
Yeah, so that would cause whoever's left to scatter.
Which would explain why 1 or 2 of them might get far enough away to survive the blast.
I think so. People like Reynolds, so Patrick McGee is probably not going to get out because
He's in the church.
Yeah, he's in there operating. So, are we going to allow any of our main cast to survive? For some reason, I want Bourne to survive. I think he's one of those. He's not an officer.
Oh, the colour sergeant.
Yeah, so maybe him and Ardendorf, so that we still get that they're saluting
They're
fellow
saluting
braves.
us. Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Because I think Shard is the kind of guy who would probably stay behind to make sure as many people got away as possible.
Of course, he's a responsible man, and he's hands-on, isn't he? So
Yes.
he wouldn't delegate. He never does delegate, does he?
And it's also that kind of proving his quality, I suppose, for Brimhead as well.
Yeah.
He wasn't prepared for this, and
To stand up in the face of overwhelming danger. Yeah, he's sort of built into the job, isn't it?
then kaboom!
Hadouken. And the dust clears, and just at the very edges of it, we'll see a couple of figures staggering out of the smoke.
And then
Of course, realise they're immediately faced by a fucking great line of Zulus, and they start their song.
Yeah, and lift
And
their
they just
shields
turn
and turn and leave.
Yeah.
Leaving them kerfuffled.
Kerfuffled, confused, and generally, I think we have a film.
I think we do. Okay, so we're going to take just a couple of seconds while we gather our thoughts, and then as we do, we'll go around in order from least stars to most to cast our votes.
Okay. Me then?
You're on 2, yeah?
I'm on 3.
On 3? Oh, of course you are, sorry. Brilliant.
I'm going to say Tribe.
You think Tribe?
I think I prefer Tribe more, just simply on the fact that I was more
invested?
roped into it, and that's a film that I would like to have seen. Yeah, and I think it's more heavily. It's more into character development, and I felt like Predator had more of
that smaller kind of cast.
a smaller cast, whereas Zoo had so many characters that I was a bit like, oh, who the hell? Even though it's about the military troops stuck in Walkstrift, thank you. There's still too many things to focus on and things like that. So I think because Tribe had the same layout as it did with Predator, I think I would stick to.
So you prefer the more personal stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to go with Tribe.
I suppose on that score as well, you've essentially got what Predator could have been if you'd have taken the Predator out of it.
Exactly, which I think I like the concept of more than putting a Predator in another random film. So
gotcha. Okay. I'm on 4.
I'm also on 4.
Well, I don't mind going first, or do you, unless you want to.
Okay, no, you go first. Yeah.
It is a difficult one. I get what you're saying about Tribe. Absolutely, there's a lot more opportunity for some really nice and really interesting interpersonal conflict there. in between the group and what they're facing and all of this kind of thing. But at the same time, I also like what we've done here as well. Because, I mean, yes, I think with this one it's been a lot more, again, as sometimes happens with these, we have to go slightly more broad strokes.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
It's not like ones we've done before where we can really go into the nitty-gritty of it because the structure of the movie doesn't allow us to do that.
Both of them had huge casts, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to...
Well, I'll make it kind of simple, but also kind of complicated, because my vote is for The Great White Hunted.
Mm.
I enjoyed what we did with Chubb. It was fun to do, but I felt like... I don't know, I just felt like this was more worth it.
Mm.
L'Oreal.
Indeed. We got to play with a lot more toys and do a lot of stuff, and I don't know. That for me would have been my choice.
Okay.
Well, you've got the deciding vote.
At least amongst us, folks.
Mm.
Mm.
I think, on reflection, I'm going with The Great White Hunted as well.
Okay.
I think there is, or we've found more parallels to elements of Predator in Zulu, and we're able to manipulate or use them to make it work.
Yeah.
There were some nice little bits that are already in Zulu that aren't too far off Predator that we can repurpose to make the film work.
Mm.
I like that aspect of it. I didn't have that much of a problem with the size of the cast. It just gives us loads of people to play around with.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I think if we treat them in the same way that Zulu treats them, it gives us just enough to give us an idea of who these people are. Then it's not that much of a problem.
Yes. They do cover the bases.
But yeah, I think that's my vote. But I must admit, I was close. You almost swayed me.
Plus, I love the poster that you put.
Oh, thank you.
So I think that to me was the thing that sold it for me.
Yeah, it was a good poster. It was a good poster. I'll be honest. I had actually made up my mind by the end of the last movie.
Really?
Yeah. Because I'd had so many thoughts about what to do for this, and I'd had so few for that. It was like I knew I was going to get more out of this one.
I think that was why I picked Tribe as well. It just seemed more easy to do, not in a lazy way, but just in this seems a lot more straight.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was kind of easy going, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Killing about 1,600, not to Zulu.
Indeed.
Fantastic. So we have at the moment 2 votes for The Great White Hunted and 1 for Tribe. So please get watching the episodes from the month and have a look at our poll, because this will be going out again it'll be.
I was pretending to be on the phone.
I see.
Join us.
Yes.
Join us.
We'll be announcing the winner for this month at the pitch meeting for September. So bleep. So please do come back and join us then.
Join us.
I think it must be almost time to get our spook on.
Almost time for the spooky season.
And is nobody going to say anything about the fact that in the time that we were away, somebody has seen fit to add a sign that says "Beware of zombies" right by the door that goes to the void?
I missed that.
I think we should do what all true heroes do in this situation. Let's just go back to sleep.
Good plan.
Yeah. Cool.
And barricade the doors?
Nah, it'll be fine.
Nobody gets in, nobody gets out. It'll be
Exactly.
fine.
Apart from him. And the mole man. And him. And...
Okay, the list is starting to get long now.
yeah, Swiss cheese. By the
Maybe
way...
we should bolt the doors.
Yeah, good luck with that. We've tried. It doesn't work. I'll tell you what we can do, though, now that he's here.
What's that?
We can get him meditating, and then we can all go to the library.
Oh.
How does one?
Ba 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 ba.